Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to our BKFC Reddit Ask Me Anything. We're joined by Drew, the wild. Is it Wild Boy? It is Wild Boy. I wasn't sure if
Wow,
it was
boy.
Wild Boy or Wild Man. Stuve, how you doing, sir?
Good buddy. How you doing?
Great. So I don't want to say that like we all have the Amazon thing that helps, and I told it. I said, hey, set a reminder that I have an interview with Drew Stuve, and it said, oh, your interview with Drew Stewart is coming up, and I was like, it's not Stewart, it's Stuve. All right. I thought that was funnier. Like, sorry, like I'm not a very funny guy, but you're a
Stewart.
handsome guy. You got the you and Kai might
Got
have the two
that.
best mustaches in the BKFC right now.
Got the old school bare knuckle boxer mustache going.
Do you usually rock that, or is it something specifically for bare knuckle?
Uh, I did it for my last fight, and then I've kind of just I grew my beard out. I had a boxing fight in between my last bare knuckle fight. I had a beard for that one, but I decided I'm gonna do the classic twirled mustache for all my bare knuckle fights.
I've talked to some fighters. They say they actually like having a little bit of facial hair. It helps prevent cuts and stuff. Is there anything to that?
I mean, I've never been cut anywhere around here. It's usually around your eyes, so.
Sure.
Yeah, there's some people that say, "Oh, you grow the beard, it's extra padding." What I've read, that's a myth. So
Okay.
best thing to
Okay.
do is just not get hit.
That's what I was gonna say. You just move your head. So you're actually going up a weight class. What's with the change of weights?
Since my last bare knuckle fight last August, I've just been lifting a lot of weights, trying to get stronger. Like fuck, man. Like 3 weeks ago, I was walking around at 205.
Oh
So
wow.
I put on a lot of muscle. I've just been trying to get stronger, and I'm down to 190 now. So I just got 15 pounds to cut. So I feel stronger. I feel more comfortable at this weight. Like I'm a big guy, right? I'm 6'2", so getting down to 165 for me is a struggle. So this weight cut, like I remember I had a couple people at the event last time. They're like, man, after the fight, they came up to me and they're like, that was awesome. I saw you at the weigh-ins and you looked like you're gonna fucking die.
Sure.
So it's gonna be nice now that I don't have to cut that extra 10 pounds. So I feel a lot better.
Are you one of those guys who thinks fighters shouldn't be like? I know a fighter who cut 20 pounds in one day, and I feel like it's not healthy. It's not good for your body.
Terrible for you, man. Like, especially in bare knuckle boxing. Like, I get it for MMA because you have that extra strength for wrestling and stuff. But when you're just strictly getting hit in the head, it drains the fluid out of your head, right? So then when you get hit, your brain smacks the side of your skull harder, and then you get knocked out easier. So I try not to cut too much weight, but I honestly I wish they would just get rid of weight cutting entirely, and everybody just fights at what they walk around at.
I would like that, or I would like same day weigh-ins, and you'd see like a lot
Yeah,
of the crazy
like
weigh-ins.
like the amateurs.
Sure. Okay, let's talk about Canada. Like it took forever for Canada to get a card. Were you guys up at Wolf House and in Canada in general? Were you guys saying like, hey, if you're not coming up here, can you at least bring us down to the States so we can stay active?
Oh man, I've been trying to get a fight for the last year since my last one. Like I think I was messaging Chris Lytle like maybe a month after my last fight. Once I was healed up, my I didn't really have any cuts, so I was fine. And I said, man, get me in there. I've been hounding them, but I'm kind of at the point now where I feel like, if I'm asking for it, it makes them not want to give me it. So I'm done asking for it, and I'll just wait. I guess I'm gonna get put on such a good performance this time that they're not gonna have any choice but to give me a fight in the States after this.
It's one of those. I mean, you see that some people will say they have too many belts, but I like the idea of the European belt. I would love like a North
Yeah.
American title. Like I like the world titles, but it seems like like you had Franco Tenaglia who was having difficult coming to the United States. So I would love if there was at least like a North American title that like the dudes from Mexico, the dudes from the U.S., and the guys from Canada could all have something to fight for, and I feel like it would keep you guys active a little bit more.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. But I think the only problem they have here in Canada is lots of places. Like I think where because we fight on native land, right? So they
Sure.
make their own rules. We bring in the Wyoming State Athletic Commission there, whereas lots of the Canadian athletic commissions they don't want to sanction bare knuckle. It's kind of like how it was in the states when it first started, when lots of states didn't want to sanction it. So it's just a hurdle they need to get over when people start realizing how much money it is and how much money it's bringing in and how many views it's bringing in. So it's going to take some time, but I'm hoping maybe after this one, since this isn't a prospect show, it's an actual fight night that, we'll get a little more steam and people will start wanting to maybe accept bare knuckle elsewhere other than in Edmonton.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was going to talk to you about. Like, I love that Wolf House kind of owns Edmonton. I would love to see like Wolf House take on a big gym from like Toronto or a big gym from Vancouver. I would love to see more of the gym versus gyms, or at least the guys from Alberta area taking on some of the other provinces and stuff.
Yeah, I would love that, man. That would be awesome. Alberta versus Ontario. Fuck, Alberta and Ontario don't like each other as it begins with, so it would be good to fight against them. But Ontario is just so fucking liberal, man. I don't know if they'll ever allow bare knuckle.
Did you go to the Ice Wars that was up there at the casino?
No, I was supposed to, but I was actually on vacation with my family in BC, so I wasn't able to make it.
All right, so I asked Hungry Hassan if he has any interest, and he said he doesn't know how to skate, so he wouldn't do it. But he said if anybody from Wolf House was gonna do it, it would be you. Would you put on the gloves? Or I hear they're actually going gloveless pretty soon. But would you put on the ice skates and fight on the ice?
Absolutely not.
No. Did you
No,
play hockey growing up or no?
I played hockey. I was a goalie though. I
Oh,
never
okay.
been in a hockey fight before, but yeah, actually, I played junior A down in the states. Like I went pretty far with hockey, but like I said, I was a goalie, so I've never been in a ice hockey fight, and it does nothing for my career. Like,
Sure.
where do you go next after that, right? It's completely different from bare knuckle boxing. Boxing takes a lot more skill. A hockey fight, you just grab each other and punch till one of you goes down. Like, it's fun to watch. I have no interest in doing it.
The one thing that I have noticed is I've talked to some of the guys and they're actually using it. It is harder for you guys to get fights. So they say, look, I want to get a couple fights in this, and then actually transition to the bare knuckle, especially now that BKFC's teamed up with them. And I feel like it's going to get them a lot of exposure. And I do like someone like I saw Devin Gibson from up there in Canada. He's
Yeah,
doing one of the fights. So like, I get it. Like, it's tough to be a fighter when you don't fight all the time. So some of these guys are reaching and grabbing at everything. You did the boxing fight. You have to stay active. You're only young for so long.
exactly. And like for Devin Gibson, he still I have him on Instagram. We chat here and there. He still plays hockey, right? So he
Sure.
skates all the time. Whereas, man, I quit hockey when I was 18, 19. I haven't skated since, so it wouldn't
Okay.
really make sense.
Have you been able to go to any fights like down in the states, like, or have you been able to make like Montana or any other cards? Like, have you been to any fights outside the Canada cards
Like to watch?
to watch? Yeah.
No, never. I've never been to a fight in the States.
If you do like a really good show on this upcoming Canada card, are you really hoping that BKFC will bring you down? We saw Hungry Hassan come down to Denver. Is it one of those things like, hey, get me out of Canada and let me put on a show in front of the rest of the fans?
That's the goal, man. I mean, I like fighting in Edmonton because this is the third show in the row I've sold the most tickets. I have a huge fan base here, but like you said, they don't have many fights here. Like this will be my first bare knuckle fight in a year now. So I'd like to stay busy. I'd like to get in the States and get on one of the bigger cards, but I just got to keep putting on great performances and like I said, leave them no choice but to bring me down there.
So you're going up to 75. Everybody knows like Mundell. It's one of those things like if you have a great performance, is it one of those like you immediately call out Mundell? It seems like anytime anybody does like a great fight at 175, they want to call out Mundell. But do you see yourself, hey, I'm going to 75. I'm going to be, getting ranked there. Hopefully, is there anybody else in the top five that interests you in the fight?
Yeah, man, I was looking into Coltrane. Like respect to him, but I think I can beat that guy. He hits hard, but he's not very skilled. And the thing is, man, we've only fought in the small ring here. I have unbelievable footwork and I'm fast. Like I can't showcase it in the small ring though, because there's nowhere to go. You just have to fight. I
Right.
think you put me in with one of those top guys in the big ring on one of the big cards in the States, and I'm gonna shine even brighter.
Is it frustrating fighting in the small ring? I almost hate it for you big guys because you do seem like you put two heavyweights in there and there's no room. But I mean, like you long guys, like you have nowhere to go.
Yeah, man, it's funny. I remember the last fight here. I got in the ring before the event started at night and stuff, and I wanted to see I was where they told the line. I took 2 steps back and I was on the ropes. So yeah, like guy like me, like I got long legs. There's not much room for me to move. It's fun, like you have to fight. There's nowhere to go, but that's why I think this is going to be a good fight for me against Santiago because I've watched all his fights. He's only fought in the big ring. He likes to circle around and run around on the outside, but there's nowhere to go in this ring, and he's never been in it. So I'm going to show him real quick that it's a lot different than that big ring.
So I had heard you had an opponent, and that opponent dropped. I had heard you had Mano dropped. Was it difficult to find an opponent? Like injuries, or people just didn't want to fight you, or what's going on?
Honestly, I have no idea what happened with Mano. Nobody told me. My coach just told me the fight's off, which is funny because that evening before, Mano commented on the picture of our fight and he said easy work.
Right.
And I commented back, I said, "You're in for a rude awakening." I called him Stone Feet because he's slow, he stomps around in there, he's got no style. And then I found out the next morning that he pulled out of the fight. And I was like, what? I was like, this guy was talking shit to me last night. And then he's pulling out of the fight like 8 hours later. So I don't know what that was all about. But respect to Santiago, he stepped up pretty quick and he was down to fight right away.
I don't know what it is about the curse of the Canadian cards. Like Devin Gibson was supposed to headline the one card, and then that fight fell off immediately. Now this one, like it's crazy, like the main event, but at least it's worked out for your favor. You still get to host it.
Yeah, and honestly, I think this is a better fight for me. Santiago is more experienced. He looks better in there, so this is just gonna look like a better fight, and it's gonna look better on my record when I finish him.
I do believe at one point Santiago was ranked too, so I feel like overall, like you said, it's a much better, like a higher caliber fight for you.
100%. And, he fought Kevin Holland in the Dana White Contender Series. Like, I'd love to have that on my resume.
And like I said, it went over that, and then suddenly you're right there. And like I said, Coltrane makes sense. Zeb Vincent makes sense. There's so many fights to be made, and like I it's so difficult and it's so frustrating when you have a guy like yourself and you're like, hey, I want somebody in the top five, and then you see like, and I get that they have to bring in prospects and stuff, but it's like, hey, maybe fight some of these guys who are 3-0 and 4-0, like give them more fights.
Yeah, exactly, man. And like, this is my second fight in a row where I'm fighting someone with a winning record. I don't want to fight guys who are like 1-4 or 0-3. Like I want to fight, man. I'm not here for easy fights. Like if I wanted to do that, I would have just stayed amateur and beat up some of the Alberta bums here. But no, I want to compete. I want to get in the rankings and I want to get towards a title shot.
I feel like that's one of the biggest frustrations for a lot of fighters is it seems like a lot of people care about that O at the end of their, you know what I mean? And they want to protect that, and they don't want to take the harder fights. And I love when a fight's a 50-50 fight. I love one of my favorite things about the UK cards is you never know who's going to win. It's like
Yeah.
pretty even matchups. Like, like this last Philadelphia card, I predicted every fight ahead of time. And that's so frustrating when you almost know the outcome before it happens.
Yeah, man, there was a lot of mismatches on that fight card, like a lot. I remember that me and what's his face, Patrick Sullivan, there were going back and forth on Instagram, and he wanted to fight me for a bit there, and I'm like, man, that guy's horrible. He
Right.
he's he fought. The guy he fought looks like they went and picked him up on freaking Crack Street and said, "Here, it's $20, get in the ring." Like I don't know where that guy's head at's thinking that he was gonna fight me, but. Like I don't see how you enjoy just beating someone up who's not good at all. Even Garbarino, man, that guy's really good. I'm a big
Sure.
fan of his, but who is he fighting, man? He's 3-0 now. Like why don't you fight a real opponent?
Again, one of my biggest frustrations. I feel like if you're in the top 10, you shouldn't be fighting somebody who's like in the top 20. You know what I mean? I feel like if you want to work your way and you're like, hey, I'm going to be the future champion, then go ahead and fight somebody who's like more of a game opponent.
Exactly. What's the point of padding your record? This isn't boxing. It's different. Boxing, they do that. They build up to 20-0 against 20 bums, and then they get themselves a big fight. But you don't really need to do that here. We see guys who have one, two, three bare knuckle fights, and then they're fighting for a title. So it's not really necessary in BKFC.
Did you take the boxing fight just to stay busy? Are you still passionate about boxing, or was it like, hey, look, I hadn't fought in so long, I needed a paycheck?
I just took it, not even a paycheck. I mean, I have a job, right? So
Sure.
I don't need the money. I don't fight for money. I just love to fight. And I wanted to stay busy. I just couldn't get anything with bare knuckle.
Can you talk about why Wolf House is such a dominant gym?
It's just a place in Edmonton that people want to be, especially when everybody knows about us here. So if you got skills and you want to be pro or you are a pro, like there's really nowhere else to go. Our new gym is a massive facility, like hands down the nicest gym in Edmonton. We have some of the best boxers in Edmonton, even MMA fighters, kickboxers. So it's just kind of the place people want to be. And our coach Parvez, he's an unbelievable coach. We got Ryan Ford there, one of our coaches. Like, we just got a lot of big names in the city there, so it's kind of the place that guys want to be.
I saw Ford is trying to get back active again. Do you ever see him coming into BKFC?
I think so, but the fight has to make sense for him. Like, he doesn't want to just fight some nobody. Like, he's a
Sure.
big name in Canada, so if he's gonna do bare knuckle, he wants to fight another big name. He's another guy who's never in his career taken an easy fight just to pad his record. He's always fought killers.
No, that's like we saw Andrei Arlovsky come in and he fought, Copeland. He could have easily said
Yeah.
like, "Hey, give me someone making a debut because it's my first fight." But that makes me respect Andre so much because he said, "No, I want a killer." And then he didn't call out Big Ben Rothwell. He said, "Look, I need another fight." And they're pushing for the Ben Rothwell fight. But I feel like a guy like that's doing it right. And I love somebody who comes in who's got skills. You don't need if you've got all these UFC fights, you don't need to fight somebody making a debut.
Exactly. You need to fight an experienced opponent, but you need to fight someone who makes sense because bare knuckle, like my first fight when I made the switch from boxing to bare knuckle, you just need to see what it feels like. It's a lot different. It feels a lot different. That ring is way smaller, the one we fight in, anyways. So, like, yeah, you need to have one or two where you just get to feel what it feels like to get hit with bare knuckles. But then, you have 20 pro MMA fights or 20 pro boxing fights. It only takes one or two, and then you're ready for the big names.
But at the same time, you're also not going like, "Hey, I want somebody who would know." The one frustrating thing is when you hear like a big name person, they go, "And then fighting this person making their combat sports debut," and you're like, "What the hell is that about?"
Yeah, that's crazy to me. I wouldn't take a fight like that, man. Like I said, I don't want easy fights. Like, I don't want people to watch my fight and be like, "What the hell is he doing fighting that guy?" Because it
Sure.
just kind of looks bad on you.
You're somebody who does come from the boxing background. If some kids watching BKFC and watches you fight, what would be your advice? Like, take up boxing, join a gym. Like, if they wanted to get into bare knuckle, would you say go the boxing route first, or what would your advice be?
Yeah, you know what? I would tell them to go amateur box, get some amateur boxing fights, but I would also tell them to do some wrestling. Get strong with with the wrestling, with the clinch, with your grip. But I'd say focus on boxing because there's no kicking in bare knuckles. So just take the boxing route, but maybe do a little bit of jujitsu, a little bit of wrestling, and kind of get a feel for all of that.
What's your feelings on the weight bully? People might say that you're a weight bully if you're cutting down from 200 to 165. It's one of those. I feel like if you can make the weight, like you make the weight. But a lot of people don't like that. Like I said, I'm not big on super cutting, but a lot of people make excuses like, "Oh, they're a weight bully. They have to fight people significantly smaller." Like I said, it's one of those. I don't necessarily feel that's the way. I feel like if you can make the weight, then good for you.
Yeah, like me, when I fought at 165, I was walking around at 180,
Okay,
185. I just put on a lot of muscle in the last
got
year.
it.
So then that's why I'm only going to 175 now. But like, I mean, hey, if you want to kill yourself in your weight cut and risk getting knocked out because your brain is dehydrated, all the power to you. But like a weight bully, I feel like it works better in MMA where there's wrestling because you have that 10, 15 pounds on someone,
Sure.
you're gonna overpower them. But in bare knuckle, like I even talked to Chris Lytle about it when I was first starting, and he said most guys in bare knuckle they don't cut tons of weight just because of that brain dehydration and all of that. Like you wrestle a little bit, but not so much that you're gonna need to throw the guy around or anything, right?
Do you feel better though, or more confident when you get in there and you do clinch up and you're able to manhandle it? And like if you're clearly the stronger fighter,
Yeah, man, that boosts your confidence big time.
you're the long guy. Are you one of those guys who would like to be able to show that you have that inside game too? Or like I said, I mean, you've got such a great reach. You're so long for that weight class that.
See, I feel like I've already shown that I can fight on the inside. This fight, I really want to showcase my boxing skills, my footwork, and just using my reach and my jab.
You get through this fight unscathed. Are you looking for like they just announced that they're going to Montenegro. They got Italy coming up. I think there's another Bulgaria card. Or would you prefer to fight in the States? I mean, are you looking for one of those international cards or anything?
I don't care, man. I'm not picky. Wherever they want to send me, I'll go. Doesn't matter to me.
Okay, and then my last question: Do you? I hate to do predictions, but I mean, clearly you're going to be the favorite going in. Is there anything you're trying to work on, or like it's one of those things like I want to finish the guy as quick as possible. I don't get paid by the minute. I get paid for the fight. Like what's your plans?
Like I said, man, I just want to work on my reach and just really showcase my boxing skills and show that I come from a boxing background. Like my last couple fights have been kind of wars a little bit. I want to get not touched this time, use my reach, and just show everyone that I'm a boxer and that I'm meant to be here.
How great is it? I got another question. How great is it the BKFC has twice come to you and said, "Hey, we want you to main event"?
Oh man, it feels unbelievable. When they announced me as main event, like I was so excited, but I was kind of expecting it. Like I said, I've sold the most tickets on every fight card here. And this fight, it's crazy. Since the last one, I've sold like twice as many tickets as I did last time. So I just keep getting more popular and bigger and bigger. So it feels awesome.
I had heard that they were kind of screwing with your guys' tickets. Did they end up letting you guys sell tickets yourself, or they still can only buy them through the
Yeah,
casino?
yeah. They didn't give us nearly as many tickets as they were supposed to. Like I think they only gave us like 330 general admission to split between like six of us, and I took 175 of them. So, but yeah, we did end up getting tickets. So we will do that, and we will make some commission off tickets, which is good because that's how it's supposed to be, especially in your home city.
Is there anybody else? I mean, we know Super Chad, we know Hassan. Is there anybody else that you should that the BKFC like newcomers should keep an eye out for on this upcoming Canada fight?
Anyone fighting out of Wolf House, that's all I gotta say.
Always bet on parlay Wolfhouse, right?
Yeah, if Wolf House is fighting, you pick Wolf House. Doesn't matter who it is.
All right, man. Do you have any message for the fans before we call it a day?
Just be ready. This is going to be my best performance to date. Every fight, I've gotten better. I've had the past year to just get stronger, get bigger, and get more experience in the gym. So this is going to be a big one. Be ready. I'm going to knock this guy out 100%.
I love the one thing BKFC seems to be doing is letting you guys talk in the ring. So I hope you get the knockout. I hope you got some stuff you want to say because we just saw that Ludlow cut a crazy promo. I don't agree with most of what he said, but I mean it's crazy. It gets out there and suddenly everybody sees it. So I hope you got some stuff, people you want to call out or messages you want to get out there. But
I
man,
got a
I
few
can't wait
things
to
in
watch
mind.
it. I figured you would. All right, Drew Wildboy Stuve, thanks so much for your time, sir.
Thanks so much, man. Appreciate you having me on the show.
All right, bye.
Bye.